No.
No.
What's up, guys? 2-1. I know you're here. We're happy. Happy,
Another big
happy,
win.
happy. We grew up in Scranton, Pennsylvania, roughly 5 minutes from the office, hour and a half from New York City. We grew up New York Knicks fans, guys. And I
Huge
really
big
would say I
Knicks
was a Knicks
fans.
fan until the Thunder showed up. What about you, Dave?
Yeah, dude. I was a huge fan. Huge fan of the Knicks. I watched pretty much all the time. I would sit there and I would debate about whether Carmelo Anthony was going to end up as Nick or, Maury Stoudemire, Carmelo
Yeah.
Anthony. I thought LeBron James was going to go there for a
Yeah.
while. I was pretty stoked about that. But again, big Nick fan in the beginning
In the
of my
beginning,
life,
right?
just because
Yeah.
that's who I
Playoff
grew up to
series.
watch.
We saw the Pacers, the Bulls, the Heat.
Yeah, dude.
Those were some great series against the Knicks. Ewing, Starks, Oakley,
So
Mason. All
good,
right.
dude.
Anyway, but this Knicks team that we watched, um, personally, I'm a huge fucking fan of Jalen Brunson's.
Huge
Um,
fan.
I used to hate Jalen Brunson because he was with the Mavericks, and let's just face it, I would still fucking hate Jalen Brunson if he was with the Mavericks. Like, what a fuck up, dude! Like letting him walk. Holy shit! Now,
Not just that, but listening to the interview where he talks about he would have taken $54 million for like 4 years if they had offered him before the season starts. I think that has to be the Mavericks' biggest fuck up as an organization in the last 10 years. And
yeah.
it
Now
sucks
Mark Cuban
because,
has to sell the organization.
well, I think
Are
there's a
they
lot more to
related?
say about that.
Maybe. Maybe.
I think there's a lot more to say about that. I think that the Dallas Mavericks are eventually going to end up being the Las Vegas.
Mavs.
I don't know about Mavs, but I think that 2031 is a big time to vote for the Dallas Mavericks. And I think if I was the ownership, I would look at the Oklahoma City Thunder and be like, this is what I want. I don't want to spend any more money than $25-50 million for this stadium.
Mm-hmm.
I think seriously that's what they'll be looking at. So um, that's where I'm looking at. I'm circling. I'm saying 2031 is a big time to vote for that. But
A
obviously the
lot of people
ownership going
thought
to Las Vegas team, it's kind of crazy.
when that SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles to get the Rams there, a lot of people thought that pro sports teams should be moving more toward 100% privately funded stadiums.
Yes.
That is obviously not happening. Um, but you got to understand
Oklahoma
the
City though did something like that though.
mm,
Like if Oklahoma
it's
if
public
Oklahoma
money.
City had to pay 100% of the stadium cost
Like if no, if
to keep the
like
Thunder.
here's the thing, SoFi was funded entirely by private equity, by
Well,
private money,
yes. Yes.
no public money. Whereas like the Thunder is only 50 million private and 900 is something public.
Well, I
So
get that. I get that.
it's pretty much the inverse of the SoFi. So my question is, with what you're saying about the Mavericks, you're
Yes.
saying that there's no way that the Allison family and Mark Cuban is going to want to drop $1 billion on a stadium. So it's not going to be a fully privately funded one. They're going to want the city to come in and kick in probably 90% of the funds, and if they don't,
And then on
then
top of that, Mark Cuban's been a big supporter saying that he wants a casino in downtown Dallas
mhm,
attached to the stadium. And I don't think
which
that that's ever going to get passed in Dallas. Let's be
it,
honest.
legislatively, that's the problem. It's not even Dallas; it's just Texas. Gambling's illegal in Texas, and if you straighten that up, okay, fine. Like, but
Dude,
it,
I think that 2031 is a big time for them because I think there's a lot of stadiums, a lot of teams across all sports that they've got some votes coming up that are going to shift the way teams are in the NBA and stuff like that. And people will be like, well, you want that Dallas team there. And yes, I understand that you want a Dallas team there. And this is why I have to say disagree with that necessarily, is because you're splitting fans from San Antonio and Oklahoma City. You pull the Dallas away, you put them into a team like,
mm,
Las Vegas, which is, equivalent city, I guess you could say. And then you have their own base. Nevada is a pretty big place. And you got, parts of Arizona, and you have a big base right there of
yeah,
fan support. And
the
that's
team
where
is instantly worth more money in Vegas.
and that's why it's so important that Oklahoma City passed that, because if you
Yeah,
let that Oklahoma City Thunder team go to the bidding process to these other teams, it would have got a stadium completely 100% funded going to a different city, and we would have lost something beautiful in Oklahoma. So tap tip my hats to you, all you Oklahoma City Thunder voters, making sure that Oklahoma City Thunder stays there because, dude, that's going to make a huge difference to the economy and everything else like that. And we're going to see what's going to happen to a lot of sports teams that aren't willing to, as a city, to pay for that bill. And when they like roll the dice like Seattle did, they're just going to leave because they're going to see the bigger, greener pastures on the other side. And Oklahoma City, man, I'm proud of you guys. So let's talk about the game, though, man.
36 points for 2 players on our team.
72 combined.
J-Dub and Shea. Like,
Sexy,
J-Dub's
man.
just, he's doing something else, man. Like, you said after last game, you wanted to see back-to-back games where he was shooting the 3-ball well.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got it.
And there you go.
You got it.
Back-to-back nights.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you got to look at his stats as being just eye-popping, but more so the fact that he was able to do it on both ends, 1 block, 1 steal. Those are the type of stuff that I like to see. I was just blown away by the way his game was polished last night. Man, I gotta say, like, he shot some threes that are like, in Taj Gibson's face. I was like, okay, but
Yeah.
like, and then he gets to the lane a few times and he finishes like so strongly. Like you're looking at this player and you're saying, like, what is his ceiling? Because like, if it's a consistency that we need to see, like, I think he's gonna be able to put this together. And to me, like, something that's special about J-Dub that I have to stop and I have to, take in for a couple seconds is that, like, J-Dub is 6'6", and he's like 230 pounds, right? And we saw him playing a number of different positions last night, a number of different positions. And the way that he can play 1 through 4 is crazy, man. Like, his body's not done being formed yet. If you get a couple more years on that body and you look at the transformation between Shea's 21st year or 22nd year old or 22-year-old in the NBA into now 25-year-old. A 3-year transformation is a lot. And J-Dub is going to see some crazy things happen. And for me, I keep on thinking like this guy right here as a number 2, it's going to be insane, man. Truly insane.
Yeah, I mean, 36 points on 17 shots, 5 of 5 from deep.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Unc. We appreciate that, man. Hell yeah, man.
Love you, Unc. We do love you so much, man. It's good to see you. Like, J-Dub's efficiency, his ability to get to his spots, like, and he did all this. I don't think he got a dunk. He had a couple of layups at the rim.
Yeah.
It's the array of shots. He kind of reminds me of a really, really great boxer because he comes in, he hits you with a little flurry, boom, 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 step back, all right, and then he'll come in and hit you with a hook shot, hook shot left, hook shot right. He'll do a running hook, a running stop, and jump away from the basket, fadeaway shot. Oh, now you're on your heels. You're gonna hit a couple of threes. That's his jab. Bam, bam, bam. Like, what do you do against somebody who has all those shots?
Look at Jaylen Brown. Right. And I look, the Celtics. I love the Celtics, the way they drafted. But Jaylen Brown is somebody that I circle and I say, this is the starting point for J-Dub. Like at 24, 25 years old, that's where I want to see J-Dub, like Jaylen Brown, right in that same category right there.
I think he could be better.
But
because of his guard skills.
That's the starting point.
Right.
Right. That's the starting point. If we could see J-Dub improve to that point at that moment, we're going to see something special. And if we are able to consistently see it, we're going to see somebody like people have been saying, like a Kawhi. Like that's the type of domination that he can have on the game. He could put up 27 points like it's nobody's business, but be so incredibly effective. And then he can go on the other side and shut down their second or third best, offensive threat, because we all know that Dort's going to take off that challenge. And I think it's great, man. He was on Brunson a little bit. He was on Taj Gibson a little bit. It was just all over the place with J-Dub. And we're seeing him being able to take on that position a lot more. And I think that has a direct correlation to Jalen Williams not getting a lot of playing time right now, because we're seeing J-Dub step up in a huge way.
We did see J. Will and Chet playing together. That was some nice minutes out there.
Yep.
Chet had a nice game, 22 points, 5 blocks, 5 rebounds. 4 blocks, I'm sorry. But
dude, the NBA fucked him again with that 5th block, bro, or 6th block. He really had 6 blocks, man. I hate how the NBA scores this shit, bro. Seriously.
Yeah, it's rough, but I'm just I'm so impressed with what this team's been able to do under the circumstances.
Yeah.
Like we shouldn't have been able to gain momentum in the standings
Yeah.
through the stretch we just went through. Like
Yeah.
if we were
You're right.
pretenders, we would that would have been an easy time to show some cracks. But you know, we just beat the Knicks, bro. I mean, we had them from wire to wire. They closed it down to one. A couple times it got a little close, but
Fourth quarter.
we were fine,
Yeah.
right?
Shea came out. That fourth quarter was fun, bro. Shea came out of the game, of course, like he always does. Knicks put a little run on, right? And then J-Dub just took over, man. He was like, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom. Just like unbelievable, bro. Like, I
But
want to say huge shout out, though we haven't been able to say this in a long time, but Josh Giddey,
yeah,
like, what a night for him last night. Um, I think there's a couple things I want to highlight. He took no 3-point shots, which I think is a thing that Coach D actually encourages Josh Giddey as much as he's, doesn't say don't take that shot. I think he believes in the system. And Josh Giddey being that guard that's willing to pass the ball, he had 9 hockey assists last night. I think I counted. Maybe it could have been more, depending on how many rotations you want to add in there. But direct hockey pass, right? Hockey assist. He had 9 of those last night, but he only ended up with 2 assists for the night. He had 6 rebounds, 2 blocks. They didn't give him a steal that he should have had a steal, but one thing I want to say that the IQ play that Coach D challenged, right? Whereas where Josh Giddey supposedly fouled the guy, right, going down the lane, Julius Randle going down the lane, and then it was overturned. But Josh Giddey didn't stop when the whistle was blown. He grabbed the ball, right? And this is something we don't see a lot of. A lot of players just let the ball go loose and it goes out of balance or whatever, right? Finishing the play by grabbing the ball because you don't know when a challenge is going to happen. And if a challenge happens and you don't have the ball in your hand and you let the ball go out of balance, it becomes a jump ball at midcourt. But Josh Giddey grabbed the ball before it had an opportunity to go out of balance, meaning that when Coach D challenged the play, it was unequivocal. Our ball going the other way, and
no, the
that's
game
the
was getting
thing.
close at that point.
Exactly. It's
Yeah,
the IQ play that Josh Giddey did last night that was like really eye popping. That's saying, okay, whatever is the issue with Coach D, whatever the issue is going on behind the scenes, the fact is 29 minutes last night, 3 for 4 from field goal, 7 points. It was unbelievable for him because he needed a game like that. It was defense, it was offense, it was like I said, the hockey assist. It was understanding that I mean, as long as you're the first pass, the second pass is going to get to the open man. Like sometimes you don't have that ability to do so, and you try to force it, and it's not going to work. But altogether, last night as a team, 4 turnovers, man, 4 turnovers. And I want to say the third quarter we had 3. So put that in there, man.
yeah, it was a really impressive game. Let's see. Let's talk a little bit more about Shea's numbers because numbers are numbers, but you know
You're sexy, man.
36, 8 assists, which is something we love seeing. Those 7 rebounds are great, 2 blocks and 2 steals. The last game he had 9 assists. Like to put up 36 points and have that much pressure on the defense and also be passing the ball that well. That's something that we've talked about it last game, but I don't think we've given it enough attention because how far this team goes is going to be a lot predicated on how Shea handles it when they send 5 at him. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
Oh, you're right.
and he's passing this with flying colors. He's becoming one of the best players at getting the defense broken down and then moving the ball to the other side of the court where there's openings. Um, it's not the same way that Luka does it, but it's almost nearly as effective. And he does it without having to have the ball in his hands in the same way that Luka does. The ball can move outside of his hands and still good things are happening. Our offense is amazing, and he
Yeah.
is a master at handling it.
I think the patience that he shows out there is truly like spectacular. And whether it's recognizing that he needs one more dribble, an extra dribble out there, which I mean, in all fairness, we've all been there. Like less dribbling is better. Um, but in Shea's case, like that's the thing that throws me off. It's that weird dribble jump that nobody can predict where he's going to jump and release
Right.
from. And that's what's so like, I mean, whether it's a fadeaway shot, whether it's on Gobert, whether it's on Brunson, it doesn't matter. He's going to get that separation, and he's going to find that separation because he's going to do a funky, odd dribble. And to me, like the last couple of games, what we're seeing from Shea is him really stepping up and saying, "Hey guys, we've got to step up our play." And looking at J Dub and saying, "I'm expecting more from you." Right? When I come out of the game, I need you to do more, right? And we're seeing him come out of the game, and you're seeing Chet and J Dub step up because whenever Shea's out of the game, Chet and J Dub are in the game. And it's about understanding that these guys are just doing an incredible job. And if you're looking at it, like, yes, we can look at it at Shea and J Dub, 72 points, but really, um, Shea's 36 points to by himself is impressive, but getting the backup from two other players of 58 points, man, that's what you got to circle and say is a hell of a job from these guys. Because when you get your, you know, backup stars, right, to throw in 58 points and you're able to put up, 36 in that process, it's pretty sexy.
We started out talking a lot about our former love for the Knicks, but we've kept an eye on them since the '90s, and this is the best team they've had by far.
Mm,
Last year
yeah.
was an exciting time for them in the playoffs, but they even had John Stark sitting courtside in Miami and things like that. But like this team is a no joke team, and
Yeah.
we literally put our hand on their heads and said, "Okay, little brother, we're not going to let you catch us," and we just treated them like they were little punks, and we handed it to them the whole game. And when you look down at this, you just realize this goes back to what I was saying the other day. We are contenders right now.
Yeah.
I get it. Like people don't want to give that to us, and that's fine. But we'll earn it. And we are contenders, and we're proving that. And all we can do is win the games that are in front of us, but we're doing that at a high enough level where people are starting to have to deal with it. I mean, if you can get to the conference finals, if you have a shot at that, I don't care what people say, you got a chance to win it all.
Yeah.
If you get the right injuries, if you get the right bounce, things can happen. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm really pumped up about what we're getting done, Dave. I mean, are we back to second in the West again? Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, we are, man. And
And we
and I would
play
say
Denver, so we can coming up on Friday, so we can create a little separation.
I want to say this. I want to bring this in here. All right, guys. All right. Thunder, on the 16th, December 16th, we beat Nuggets. And then we
Yeah,
beat the Grizzlies. Then we beat the Clippers, right? And then we played Lakers, which we lost to by the Lakers, but LeBron had to go off for 40 points in order for that to happen, which is an oddity. Let's just add it like that. All right.
right.
We beat the Timberwolves. Now we beat the Knicks. When we looked at this schedule, Mark, I really thought that this is going to be one of those time periods that we're going to go 3-3.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
agree.
I just looked at it and I was like, I will be happy if this is the part in the schedule where we end up going 3-3, right? Because I looked at the Grizzlies as being a win. I looked at the Knicks as being a win, and I was like, we could win against the Nuggets once, and because we have the Nuggets again Friday, so I thought we could beat the Nuggets one time. Um, so I thought we could go 3-3, and I was like, this is it. But now looking at it, like the opportunity to go, the worst we can go is 4-2, but to go 5-1 in this just crazy schedule, man, like
Yeah.
crazy. I mean, the Clippers were clicking; they're on a wing streak, right? We shut that shit down. The Timberwolves are the best team as far as everybody's been saying, playing the best team in the league, best defensive team in the league, and we shut that shit down completely. Like that to me is this is where this team's at. Like this team needs to be considered. And if you look at the ESPN rankings and they have us ranked sixth, I mean, yeah, I get it. I can understand that. But that's where we're going to be at. We're going to be ranked between sixth and fourth all year long because nobody is really understanding what's happening in Oklahoma City yet. And even the experts at ESPN are still not willing to stand out and say, yeah, guys, I'm going to go ahead and rank this team the best team in the league because they don't think that this team has the respect level to do so.
I'm not even sure what the hell's going on right now because when I look at the NBA standings,
Yeah.
all right, so it says we're number two, right? But the reason it doesn't make sense to me is because we're 2 games back from the
Hmm.
Timberwolves,
Hmm.
whereas the Nuggets are a game and a half back and they're ranked three. Normally, games back are how they rank this stuff, right? Like that's how
Well,
I
you
thought.
look at
So,
win percentage, the winning percentage.
okay, so that's what they rank it on. We're
Yeah.
two 1,000ths of
Yeah.
a percentage
Better than
over
them. So it's half a
So
game, which is less
I
than half a
see.
game. Let's just be honest.
It's like, okay, that's fascinating too. I've never seen a team be like more games back, ranked higher. Um, so obviously, it's the number of games that we've played that we're not
Yeah,
quite.
and we all know January is coming fast, and
Yeah, we'll
these other
catch up.
teams they play 14 games in January, and we have 17, and that's where
Yeah.
the +3 is going to come from. Um, so we'll catch them up at the end of the January. We'll be all set up and crunchy with them,
So
and
virtually, we're
tied.
tied for second, like with the
Yeah,
Nuggets. But we got a game
yeah.
tonight, and
No,
or I mean
Friday.
tomorrow night,
Yep.
Friday night, and we put up a big win there. We're not really worried about where the Nuggets are as far as that. Um,
Man,
it's fascinating, Dave. Like I didn't think
9
that we
p.m.
would be in this position this early.
Yeah,
I really thought we would be in this position at the end of the season. But I every time I projected this season, I projected that October through December would be a little bit of a slow start. To
yep.
get out of the gate so quickly, it's a little shocking for me. But if you want to know the difference between this year's team and last year's team, just look at Chet.
Hmm.
I mean,
Look at J Dub.
yeah,
I mean,
true.
like,
J Dub step
I,
forward.
okay. When we started the year, I want to echo this. We said that this team was going to average something about 120 points a game, someplace around there, 121 a game, right?
Yeah,
Um, we were pretty adamant that Shea was going to increase his abilities to score, right? We're pretty adamant these other guys were just going to find other ways to get shots. Um, Everything we said in the beginning of the year seems like it's come true in that aspect. Like Shea's averaging more points almost now. You've got these other guys that are stepping up in huge ways. They're getting a close to 20 points a game now. Like we're seeing these contributions from the other players, but not necessarily more shots, just more effective. And I think that's where, again, we have to circle and we have to say just an incredible job by this coaching staff. Like, Coach England and Coach Degnod I see it every
Cameron
single
Woods,
time.
Dave Bliss,
Yeah,
a bunch of
Dave
guys.
Bliss is sitting with Chet on the sidelines, talking to him about stuff and working through stuff. And then you see on the other aspects, you see Cameron Woods oh man, there's so many great coaches, and my mind's gone blank right now. But um, I cannot say it enough. Like when you're looking at these guys and how they're working with each one of these guys individually, it's truly spectacular. And you're seeing them be more effective with the shots that they're getting. Like Shea is way more effective, and then let's just be honest, he doesn't need 20 shots a game to score 36 points, and that's what's insane. Like he's finding other ways. People called him the king of getting to the free throw line, right? Like he's found a way when he's not getting to the free throw line and he's not getting the calls to score and score more effective. And I think that's what's so beautiful about what Shea is doing is he's learning how to morph his game into something that's even better than it was last year, which is saying something because he was first team all NBA last year. And he's acting like he's definitely the MVP candidate that we believe he is.
Dude, it's been a great season. Um, Absolutely MVP. He's got to get more love that way. But in the end, who cares? Like you earn that respect in the playoffs, and that's what we're all looking at right now. Trying to visualize this team in a 7-game series and the adjustments and the depth that we go into our roster off our bench and all that stuff. It's really exciting. Um, Watching teams adjust and going to the counter, the counter of the counter, and all those things. I can taste it, bro. Playoff basketball is almost back in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, and I think January is going to be a fun month. I think it's going to be a hard month. I think there's going to be a lot of lessons learned. I think there will be, dealing with maybe a couple of injuries during January. Hopefully, nothing serious.
Right.
And then I think February comes around and it's going to get a little bit light. We got the All Star break, which is going to be nice for anybody that did get injured during that January stretch. And I think it's just going to be one of those moments where after the All Star break is where we see this team take off every single year. We saw it 2 years ago. We saw it last year. There's this moment where this team just starts clicking and you start seeing great things happen. And I have to say, like it's really special, man. Like it's really really special where this team can click.
Dude, you're right. It's just the start, you know? Trying to pull up my chat here. I can't pull it up. I know you said Unk was out there.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate you, Unk.
Let's go ahead. I'll give it some shout outs here. Jordan, Mwani.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Wani.
Like you said, Unk. You've got Corey's out there. Trey Lee. What's up?
Yeah. What's up, buddy?
Man, some good stuff out there. Trey
Appreciate you
Lee
guys.
has some dope videos. If you guys want to check that shit out, man. Just got his new place out there. Congratulations, man. Pretty cool. So,
And we
all
hope
right,
you guys
guys.
enjoyed your holiday, and we hope that you can find some fun shit to do in the next couple of days. We'll be here. We'll be around. We'll be back to talk about the post game against the Nuggets. So we'll see you then. Love you.
All right, guys.